Senator Cotton.
Thank you. General Miller, thank you very much for your willingness to go to Afghanistan once again and for your many years of service. We have many fine flag officers that come in front of this committee, but few have displayed not just the command excellence, but the personal valor and bravery you have on the battlefield. We all appreciate that. Let me continue down Senator King's line of questioning about why Afghanistan. Why are we in Afghanistan 17 years later? Why not all the other places that are deeply troubled and pose threats to us as well, like Syria, for instance, although we do have troops in Syria, but just at the levels and the length of time. It's true that Afghanistan is where we were attacked from on 9/11, is that right?
That's correct, Senator.
Is it still true that Afghanistan and its border area with Pakistan has the highest concentration of foreign terrorist organizations anywhere in the world?
That's correct, Senator.
It's also the case that we have a troop presence that's established and that does many important tasks in Afghanistan, that we would lose that presence and those capabilities in the country if we were to, as you say, precipitously withdraw.
Yes, Senator, that's correct.
But 17 years is a long time. I think how many, this will make, you said your fourth deployment?
I count it in years, about 4 years, Senator.
Okay. Did you imagine in 2001 that you would be deploying for a fourth year to Afghanistan in 2018?
Senator, I did not.
Is that something you really would have wanted to do in 2001?
Senator, I actually recall conversations of people who were out over Christmas of 2001 talking about they were doing this, their kids did not have to.
Well, since you raised that, let's talk about Lieutenant Miller there for a second. If Lieutenant Miller does his job well and stays as a platoon leader at the 82nd Airborne into next year, 2019, he is going to have a private report to his platoon, in all likelihood, who was born after the 9/11 attacks. That's a pretty shocking fact, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
So we've taken on a lot of burden in Afghanistan. We've taken it on for a long time. Many Americans rightfully question why we have spent so much money there, why we've had so many of our sons and daughters killed there. Is the simple answer to those questions that Afghanistan is where they attacked us from, and if we were to, as you say, precipitously withdraw, they would simply try to start attacking us again?
Senator, I go back to that national interest, the vital national interest, which is the security of our country, security of our citizens, as well as other international partners. That's why we're in Afghanistan.
And I wish that you and all those other lieutenants and captains who said in 2001 that they were there so their kids didn't have to be there had that prediction come true, but it's simply not the case. The enemy is still there and the enemy still gets the vote, right?
That's correct, Senator.
You know, a couple weeks ago, unfortunately, an American soldier was killed. Staff Sergeant Alex Conrad. He was killed in a very poor, troubled, war-torn country. It wasn't Afghanistan, though. It was Somalia. And Captain Miller served in Somalia 25 years ago. Isn't that right?
That's correct, Senator.
Did you have the same sentiment when you served in Somalia, that you wish that you were there in part so your children wouldn't have to be there 25 years later?
Senator, I think in 1993 I wasn't thinking that in that direction, but to your point, yes.
But it's the truth that although not a continuous presence for 25 years, we have had a pretty regular presence in Somalia for many of those 25 years, correct?
No, that's correct, Senator.
And what do Somalia and Afghanistan have in common that has required us to have troops continually present since 2001 in Afghanistan and regularly present in Somalia since 1993?
Senator, it's a violent extremist organizations, and this in present day, we're speaking about al-Shabaab and ISIS in Somalia.
And we all wish that they weren't there, and we all wish they didn't want to try to kill us in the United States, but they are there, and that's why we have troops there still. And I commend you, and I commend your son, and every other soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine that we have that are continuing to carry on this fight for 17 years in Afghanistan to keep this country safe. It's something that probably none of them want to do. They all wish, like you had wished in 2001, that they weren't having to do it. But as you say, if we precipitously withdraw, then the only thing that's going to happen in Afghanistan is they're going to start plotting to attack us again here in our home. Thank you, and Godspeed in Afghanistan.